Welcome to SVG-TV News Friday, June 15, 2018. I am Yvette Boynes with the details. Police Inspector Henry Providence of the RSVG Traffic Branch said that licensed firearm holders whose permits have expired should move speedily to have the situation rectified. Speaking to SVG-TV News on a range of related issues, Inspector Providence said the police are facing difficulties getting persons to renew their firearm license. In some instances, the licenses are not renewed for years. Inspector Providence took the opportunity to explain what the law says on the matter.
And the law says any person who fails to renew a license or permit as required commits an offense. And a summary conviction means if you go before the magistrate court and you are convicted, you are liable to a fine not exceeding $500, or you can also be imprisonment for a term not exceeding 6 months. Right? So as I said, it is an Corporal Williams just rightfully said it is an offense. It's a criminal offense. Once you take before the court for failing to renew your firearms license, it is a criminal offense. You will be, and if you are convicted, you can be imprisoned and you can be charged, and definitely you will also lose your firearms license. So we don't want persons to be, go through all of this. That's why we are appealing to the general public as a whole to come forward, and those persons who are licensed firearm holders to come and pay up their license.
Inspector Providence added that where a person fails to pay their weapon, it is considered an unlicensed firearm.
You do not want to be in a situation where, let's for instance, there's an intruder into your property or your home and someone is shot or killed, and then in a position where your firearm is not licensed. You do not want it for yourself. So that's why we are appealing very strongly for persons to pay up a firearm license, or as I said, if you are not in a position to pay, then bring the firearm to us at the department. As a matter of fact, we are giving persons 24 hours to have this rectified. Right? 24 hours persons have to go and have this rectified. Feel free to call us at the traffic department if you want any further information in regards to what is expected of you. But we want to have these unlicensed firearms, if you want to put it that way, licensed and up to date before anything gets out of hand.
The police inspector said licensed firearm holders are issued a registration book, and he believes a lot of persons do not pay due to negligence.
Your license is given to you for the very first time. You will be given a firearm book, and this will tell you everything about the firearm. It will tell you the holder's name, the sort of firearm it is, date of renewal as well. So it will tell you when your firearm license expires. So it's not a case where persons do not know when the firearm license is due. It's just a fact where persons are just being neglecting to pay their license. And we at the department say it is a very serious thing for you to be in possession of a firearm and not coming to pay the license. So the department has already undertaken the task of retrieving these firearms from the persons who are not paying.
Meanwhile, Corporal Macleon Williams, also of the Traffic Department, said legal firearm holders should take their firearms to the RSVG police force when leaving the state for extended periods. Corporal Williams said this decision can ensure the safety of the weapon and result in some financial relief to the license holder.
Any report of that so far? The only problem is that we are appealing to persons who are traveling overseas and might be traveling for an extended period of time to turn their weapons in, because what we find happening is that sometimes they go away for 2, 3, 4 years, and because they figure that they have their weapon would have been stored in their vault, it's in safekeeping. But it means that the license continues to run. If it's in the police care and custody, then you'll be exempted for the years that you are out of state. Right? So we are asking the general public who are license holders, are registered and license holders of a firearm, to please turn them into the police if you're about to travel overseas.
Commissioner of Police Colin John has spoken of an intention to begin a mentorship program in the police force to provide support to recruits and other members of the constabulary. Commissioner John told SVG-TV News that the proposed initiative is still under discussion and the start date has not yet been set, but the mentors will be drawn from superintendents through to the higher ranks. The program is intended to run for a minimum of 5 years and will be buttressed by ongoing training for mentees. In a message to mark Father's Day, The commissioner pointed out that 6 months is inadequate to transform a recruit from a civilian to paramilitary status, and there is evidence that some members of the force had failed to live up to what is required of them. Hence, on leaving the training school, new recruits will need to have a senior experienced officer as a mentor to help them become effective and efficient in carrying out their duties. The Buckermans Bay Resort may be opened by December of this year. According to Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, further discussions have been held with the potential operators, which could result in a reopening of the facility by the end of the year. PM Gonsalves, who was speaking at a news conference yesterday, said these negotiations often take a while, but he is confident of a positive outcome.
I would be disappointed if we don't have Bukama open by December. Now, it's tight for all of us to work together, but I think we can make it. You know, you're writing a hard exam, you're preparing for it, and you're confident you're going to pass it. And therefore, if you don't pass it, you feel disappointed, but you have to work hard for it. That's the point I want to make. Because I don't want anybody who never build anything in their life and who don't understand anything to say, oh, Ralph says it's opening in December. I'm telling you what we are working towards.
The Prime Minister said that the reopening of the Bukama Resort could also bring a renewed interest from British visitors, which will also dovetail the negotiations with British Airlines.
It's a 4 or 5-star facility, you know, and in the first phase, and then they will do other things. And I would like to see us, if we can get the 100 rooms now, and that by that time, it would be a big lift, because you can then, we'll start to have the British tourists coming back in the groups in which they had been coming, and it would afford Glen Beach and the operators, Glen Beach Tourism Authority, to then renew the conversation with the airlines out of the United Kingdom in terms of coming by. But that's why is not for fear of having not calling their names. That's not. It's just that I'm not the person to do it.
Prime Minister Gonsalves said the Black Sands Hotel, now under construction at Peters Hope, will have a room capacity of 400. He said the $65 million facility is being done in phases.
Black Sands is on the way at Peters Hope. Black Sands consists of that's a $65 million project. Consists of the 40 villas or 50 rooms. They're working on the first 10 meanwhile. They're saying that by the end of after the second half of next year, maybe certainly towards the end of next year, they will finish all of those villas, and they want to start the hotel sometime next year, the 200-room hotel, and by the end of 2020, the expectation is that they'll finish that. So that's 400 rooms.
The Prime Minister, giving examples from the region, also rejected the argument that governments are not engaged in hotel development projects.
To see the lay of the land. Hey, people say Hilton and Marriott will never build hotels in St. Vincent. They're building hotels anywhere. The model now for entities like Hilton and Marriott is for you to engage them You get architects with whom they work. You build it, and they brand it and or manage it. Here and there they may do one or two, but their model now is branding and managing. Barbados, Hilton is owned by the government of Barbados, you know, it's branded and managed by Hilton. This is a model which has been developing. The Trinidad Hyatt was built by the government of Trinidad and Tobago and managed, branded and managed by Hyatt. So when people don't know things and the internet crazies get on and they talk this thing, they talk so much rubbish.
Fathers here are being encouraged to play a more active and productive role in the lives of their children. This as the CW Prescott Primary School hosted its 2018 Fathers Conference under the theme, Bridging the Gap, Fathers as Mentors. An initiative of the school's Parent Teachers Association, the conference came about through the growing need to ensure that men are empowered and contributing meaningfully to their society. The event, which was held at the French's House last evening, saw a number of fathers being engaged in an open forum discussion as they were made more aware of how they can be better mentors to their children. Nikita Tony tells us more in this report.
All fathers are special, and their role in society is critical. That's the belief upon which the CW Prescott Primary School held its second annual Fathers Conference at the French's House last evening. Principal of the school, Suzette Abbott-King, said the positive results from the first conference last year prompted them to again provide an avenue to empower fathers.
Fathers, you are central to the emotional well-being of your children. You are capable caretakers and disciplinarians, and these are roles that you must take seriously. We have seen an increase in the number of fathers visiting the school. We have heard many positive testimonies from our fathers whose lives have been impacted from the Dad's Day at school, and the excitement on the children's faces when the fathers are present.
Held under the theme, Bridging the Gap, Fathers as Mentors, Abbott-King said the event is aimed at getting fathers more involved in their child's academic and social life.
As a mentor, you have a responsibility to help develop in your children good character traits, fairness, decency, self-sacrifice, respect, loyalty, service, responsibility, integrity, unselfishness, honor, and self-esteem. It is my hope that after this evening's exercise, that our objectives will be met, that you fathers will be motivated to play a greater role in the lives of your children.
Guidance officer at the school, Patsy Ngaraway, said the conference also serves to highlight a number of issues affecting children without a father or a father figure in their lives.
Coming from the 2017 conference, we have been able to set up a father support group that helps in the planning of the father's activities so as to continue the linkage between school and home. This is a mandate from God to restore and retool our fathers to face the challenges of the times we are living in, and also to equip them to become better mentors to our boys and good role models to our girls.
The guidance officer urged the fathers present to not get weary in well-doing.
For in due season, you will reap if you faint not, according to the good book. This initiative is an investment in generations to come. Fathers, your role in society is vital and necessary. Your presence must be felt, and it must reach the heart of the child.
The annual conference is set on getting all fathers to realize that fatherhood goes deeper than just providing money, clothes, and food. The responsibilities are wide-ranging. Nikita Tony reporting for SVG-TV News.
Pastor Dr. Reynold Mori has challenged fathers to step up to the plate. Dr. Mori, who was the featured speaker at the CW Prescott Primary School's second annual Fathers Conference, presented on the sub-theme, Mentoring Your Child or Children. Expressing his pleasure at being asked to speak on the role of a father, Dr. Mori commended the school's PTA for seeing it fit to undertake such a timely initiative.
The excellent job you've done for pulling men together, because we have a dying generation. We are losing our young people, and we really need men to bring them back together. What is happening, and it scares me, get old amidst this violent generation. But where did violent generation come from? Whose fault was that? The adults failed, and they are failing still, and so the children are going astray.
Dr. Murray stressed the need for all fathers to accept and act on their role as leaders.
Not just leaders at home by saying, do this and do that. I'm talking about leaders leading by example. To lead, you have to make sure that you're leading your children in places where you want them to be. You're not going to lead them in a place where you don't want to see them afterward. Don't come here. Fathers, where are you going? If your kids can't go, why are you going? You've got to set the pace, fathers. You've got to be the one. You've got to be the first suitor for your daughter. You must have the first date with your daughter, fellows. You must have the first date with the young ladies. The little girls are looking, for example, they're looking for love in all the wrong places. But who's supposed to give it to them? Hello, fathers.
The featured speaker reminded the fathers present that what their child or children need most is for them to be their father.
Whatever happens to your children down the road, blame yourself. Hello, I understand. I know the street. I know they get strange. I know they do strange things. Let them go down on the street corner and let some little guy speak sweet nothingness into the air and confuse them, because you were not there to speak wisdom into their lives. Hear the instructions of your father, Solomon says to his son. You as fathers have to speak wisdom into your sons and daughters. There's no segregation in the home when it comes to your role as a father. Yes, they're differential treatment because they're different sexes and they have different requirements, but your role as a father stands out for both of them.
Minister of Health Luke Brown said that the St. Matthias Charities Inc. has proven itself to be a very good partner to the Ministry of Health as it continues to make contributions to various health centers across the country. Minister Brown, who was speaking at a ceremony where a quantity of medical supplies were handed over to the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital, Brown said the charity has continued to have a positive impact on the health sector since 2012. He expressed hope in its continued support.
2012, when St. Matthias started to come here, you might have thought, well, boy, this is a one-off gesture. But they came again in subsequent years, and they came again and again, and we're not hoping to say amen anytime soon. we want them to keep coming even as they expand the scope of their reach to other countries.
Minister Brown thanked the charity for its continued support and stated that its work has connected it to many healthcare centers around SVG.
It is connected to the Milton Cato, and you see Sister Murray right in front here nodding in agreement, you know. It is connected to the Mental Health Rehabilitation Center, and we see further nodding agreement in the front row. This time from Sister Medford. We appreciate the way in which the charity has touched these facilities, and as has been outlined by its founder, is intent on touching all of the healthcare facilities in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Meanwhile, President of the St. Matthias Charities Inc., Pastor Robert McBarnett, thanked the health officials for their partnership and said the charity is looking to equip all health centers with an EKG machine.
It is connected to the Milton Cato, and you see Sister Murray right in front here nodding in agreement, you know. It is connected to the Mental Health Rehabilitation Center, and we see further nodding agreement in the front row. This time from Sister Medford. We appreciate the way in which the charity has touched these facilities, and as has been outlined by its founder, is intent on touching all of the healthcare facilities in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Love is a mission. That is the theme under which Virtue Arts Ventures will be staging the 2018 Voice and Vision show, which is scheduled for tomorrow, Saturday 16th June at the Peace Memorial Hall. Creative Director Anthony Patterson said the events will kick off with a live arts exhibit from 6:30 p.m. and will be followed with live performances from 7 p.m.
This year we're having it under the theme Love Mission. Right, it's a variety concert, mostly gospel concert, because we say gospel and inspirational music. But it's more than just your typical, concert. And the show this year is geared towards a theme, Love Mission, because, as the song says, what the world needs now is love. And more than anything else, it's the answer to a lot of the problems and the challenges that we face, in our society. The concept or the principle of virtue, the arts being used to uplift people. We know that arts can be used in a variety of different ways, sometimes not so much uplifting or inspiring. So this is putting the arts together. It's a performing art show, a variety performing art show, geared towards inspiring and really blessing people. So we invite everybody to come out. Bring your families. For everybody, it's a family show at this time, especially at this time. So we invite everybody to come out, support us, and, be blessed.
Patterson said the family-oriented show will be a good Father's Day outing gift, and the majority of the proceeds would go towards a project that is concerned with helping children receive care and counseling.
For the betterment of the society and the enhancement of lives on a whole, there's an outreach component in that the proceeds are most of the proceeds will be going towards various outreach causes, persons who are in need, counseling, intervention, that kind of thing, to help persons who are really going through difficult times. So, but apart from that aspect of it, we know that persons are going to come and have a great time, have a wonderful experience, a wonderful show. So we invite everyone to come out and really support us. We have a lot of, gifted performers, as I mentioned, doing monologues. We also have dance and mime groups will be performing as well. So, persons are really going to be thrilled and blessed and inspired and all of that by what we'll be presenting under the umbrella of Voice and Vision, Love Mission.